So a stop loss is the biggest scam when it comes to the forex industry. This is I know I'm gonna get a lot of backlash when I'm speaking about this, but a stop loss is a biggest scam when it comes to the forex industry. Before I even talk about stop loss, I'm gonna talk about how do brokers scam you, how do market makers actually scam you when you're talking about stop loss, nah? Okay, so I'm gonna try and be simple as possible. Before you get any further, make sure you like the video, and subscribe if you're still new to the channel. I would really appreciate that. So, guys, I know that a lot of you guys have been trading for quite some time. Probably some of you guys are quite new to the forex industry, and a lot of you guys have done a lot of demo accounts. And you've noticed that whenever you are trading without a stop loss, you make a lot of money. And when you're using a stop loss, your trade actually triggers your stop loss and goes to your direction. So today, someone really asked me, what do I think of stop loss? So I decided to actually make a video because this question has been popping up for quite some time. Guys, there's a lot of things that happen behind the forex industry, behind the scenes, especially when it comes to actually the big brokers. So before I even talk about that, how I justify by saying a stop loss is a scam, have you ever noticed when you open in an account, when you open an account, basically at any broker, most of these cases, like with any broker that you currently using and stuff, they'll ask you questions. They'll ask you a lot of questions. Like they will ask you like, how much do you use? How much are you using? How long have you been trading? Where did you get your fund from your saving? Those questions, guys, brokers use those questions a lot. Like those questions are the question that actually put you in a very risky manner in order for them to actually trigger your stop loss. So for those who don't know, there are two types of brokers. Basically, there's an A broker and then there's a B broker. Basically, an A broker is a broker that take your money and put it to the real financial markets. So more fund imali yako, they take money and they put it to the financial markets. We might say in bed. And then there's a B broker where the money just stay there. Like the money just stay there. I don't know how to explain this, but imali, like you don't trade the financial markets, you just trade with the broker. Like basically it's almost like it's illiquidity to stay there in such a way that the broker is so sure that I think this thing was also when imali yako here with financial markets, because the broker knows guarantees that at some point you're gonna lose money, so there's no point. That's what they call it, a B broker, where they are so sure in such a way that they book you in such a way they gamble. The broker gambles that in such a case that they are 100% sure when Angere win. So we call those brokers a B book. So I hope that makes sense, and I try to explain it simplify as possible. So how do brokers know that you are under a B book? How do brokers know that law uzo blow account, guaranteed uzo blow account? Is when you register, guys. I know that a lot of you guys don't pay attention when they are registering, and they just feel like, okay, this is just the registration. They're asking you. Some brokers even block your account if konimbuzo ngayiphendulang, because they are so desperate to book you, to make sure that they don't put imali yako on the A book. So my questions now are little was how much money you gonna fund. Like I've spoken about funding. Funding is one of the most critical thing when it comes to actually with forex markets. How much money you gonna fund it? So there is a certain amount of money that aba specific. I don't know exactly the amount, but there is this amount that a lot of brokers know. If you funding ale mali there, the high chances of you blowing are very high. But I think it's less than $10,000, less than $10,000, which is 180,000, 180. So if you fund your account with the less money with that, you know that okay, they put you on the big book. Either that, even they're gonna ask you questions like, okay, how much money you wanna fund with, how long have you been trading, experience. You know, they will really want to know what's how often you've been trading. You know? So if your experience yako is lower than 3 years, they're definitely gonna be book you because they know it's okay. This guy has a lot of chances of you blowing your account. And kuma brokers mele abantu labo kuthiwa ama account managers, not account managers but risk managers. Risk managers. Risk managers are people who calculate the risk a broker if they put you with people. So they know how many people are gonna lose money and how much the money the broker is gonna make. So kunama risk managers, kunama stop hunters, stop hunters. There are people who actually are hired by the brokers to actually focus on stop loss or to actually blow my account. Not just stop hunters. There is even called a slippage. You know, a slippage is another thing. So before we even get there, why do I say a stop loss is a scam? So let me just try and explain this as simple as possible. Now, stop loss is what they use to pay the bills, guys. Stop loss is what they use. Basically, stop loss is what brokers use to pay the bill. When you put your stop loss, it's not like blind, like they don't see your stop loss. They see very well your stop loss because where do you put your stop loss, and they know how many people actually place their stop loss in that position. You know, they're not gonna ignore that, guys. They are not gonna ignore that. They're gonna trigger your stop loss and then go to the right direction. They're gonna trigger your stop loss, they go to the right direction. I'm a stop loss hunters, not just I'm a market makers, because those are other people, but I'm a stop loss hunters who are hired by the brokers will trigger your stop loss and then go to the right direction. So in order for you to actually avoid these kind of things is like a lot of information that we are taught, basically a lot of information that is available. I feel like a lot of information is manipulated when it comes to becoming a forex trader and becoming a successful forex trader. I don't think the forex markets is a scam, but I feel like the information that we are given as forex traders, as retail traders, is a scam. The information we are given as forex traders is a scam. Not if forex is a scam. The information that we get is a scam. So in order for you found out that support and resistance, supply and demand, trend lines, indicators, like there's so many stuff that I could talk about that is available for a lot of retail traders that we use, but you find out that you are stuck with this information because most of them, they are just helping the broker become rich and become successful, make a lot of money and all those stuff, and then you find out that you are not making money because of this information that we are given most of the time doesn't really work. It really affects us. So I always tell people like the best way to actually to make something that doesn't work is to do the opposite. Like if it's strategy, like if assistant, for instance, you got a strategy that most of the time when you analyze the against you. So in order for you to make it work, you have to go opposite. with direction, your analysis, and then you just fix something that is not working. So if you wanna be successful, you have to use a stop loss. Yeah, well, that's a fact, because stop loss protects you, protects your capital, protects you from losing a lot of money. But if you wanna make money in the forex markets, you have to, like, yonke analysis yakho. I'm talking to newbies, beginners, people who don't even use my strategies because more so or manipulation in markets. But if you want to be successful and want to make money in the forex markets, you have to, a strategy cycle have to be based on a stop loss. Have to be based on stop loss. That's what we do as Quasimodo traders. Yonke senzayo is based on a stop loss. You have to analyze in a way that yonke senzayo has to be based on your stop loss in order for you to be successful. So whatever, I don't want to motivate you guys and say, okay, use Quasimodo because it's the best strategy, but each strategy you're gonna choose, but it have to be based on where your stop loss is and where the liquidity is, because the liquidity is where, like, they've taken all the orders on my stop loss, so they are going to the right direction. So in order for you to actually avoid that, you have to guys, like, you have to analyze based on the stop loss. I'm not saying don't use a stop loss as much as I'm saying it's a scam, but it's very important. It's very important to actually do your analysis based on a stop loss. Quasimodo is based on a stop loss. Supply and demand is based on a stop loss. Supply and demand manipulation. Supply and demand just alone, for me, is not enough. But even trend line alone is not enough. Indicators alone are not enough. That's why I do manipulation. If you can check the description of the group, we do manipulation of a market. So use a strategy that is based on a stop loss, because they are gunning for your stop loss. They are doing meetings. Brokers are having meetings how to trigger a stop loss, and then they'll make money. They'll make a living. They'll be able to pay the bills, pay the MT4s, pay the account managers, pay the servers, pay the softwares, pay everybody. So make sure you use a strategy. Focus more on the stop loss.